only you could see yourself in my eyes, you'd see you shine, you shine. I know you'd never leave me behind. I am lost this time. Are we destined to burn, or will we last the night? I will hold you till I hold you right. If only you could see yourself in my eyes.
You know, originally I said, I was like, I think I'm going to do about 3 months of this, or 90 episodes. Originally I was thinking I would do it every day, and I was thinking, like, if it gets the traction, then maybe it's something I'll keep for the show. And truthfully, the growth has been amazing. So I would just say, if you're somebody that's come on, recently for the morning coffee episodes, or even if you're an OG, first of all, thanks for sticking with me through the years. But also, if you're getting something from this message, I would just appreciate it if you could share it with somebody else that you also think would get something from this message. It's how we grow the show. I have huge goals for this show in 2019. And so your continued support means the world to me. If you would share it, I would love that too. I was asked the other day on another interview for another show, like how I would distill my message and what I would say. And you guys know I have an aversion to a lot of like the motivational culture that's out there today. But one of the things that I really came with is the idea that, we're all going through this shared human experience. And in order for you to maximize it, you have to engage with reality as it is. You can't ignore the pain. You can't ignore the sorrow or the loss or the tragedy. It's all part of it. You have to engage with your potential as such. You don't get the opportunity to create a perfect world. But what's interesting is when you adopt the right mindset and you start engaging with your life as it is, you understand the world is actually perfectly suited for what you need it to be. It can just be hard to understand that sometimes the tragedy and the rough things are our catalyst for action. It can be hard to understand why that could be a good thing, why it could be happening for you and not to you. And so I would say, like, so far, I think that's like the central theme that's coming out of a lot of these episodes. One of the things I'm doing right now with a lot of these shows is I'm looking back through 2018, and I'm really trying to distill down the lessons. And I said this on the last show, but I've really learned through pain this year. So that's probably why a lot of this stuff is coming up. But one of the other factors that really contributed to my growth last year was the idea of always being an amateur. Like, always being willing to learn. A lot of times when we're not willing to learn, we find ourselves taking on an entitlement mentality, right? Because we start to believe that, like, there's nothing that this person or this thing could teach us. And when you start to understand more about the world, it's really easy to fall into that. I've talked about the inherent blinding properties of intelligence. The reason that happens is because if you have a high IQ, you understand more than the people around you a lot of times. Well, what then you begin to understand or believe is that nothing could possibly exist outside of what you already understand to be true. But when you're dealing with the universe and the infinite, you're always learning more about what you don't know. So you have to be careful not to think that what you know is the end-all, be-all in any given situation. We're always learning. And so one of the things I would say to you is, like, always be learning. And then think about your life. Where have you not approached an interaction as a student? If you approach it as somebody that already has the answers, then there's clearly nothing you're going to learn, and there's no way for you to possibly grow from that experience. And that's the downside to this whole thing. So I would say, go into every interaction like every person has something that they could teach you. Every situation has the opportunity to mold you. People are seeing the world through a different lens than you. So they might not have a higher intellect or whatever it is that's making you believe they have nothing to teach you. But the fact is that their subjective reality is different than your subjective reality. So they're contending with reality and with their potential in a different way than you are. And so there's something that you could probably learn from that person. So you have to teach yourself to stay curious and inquisitive. And, curiousness is one of the things that's linked back to, like, a lot of the great people like Da Vinci, the idea that you would be curious about how something works or how we get to answers. Like, that is when you learn how to think and not what to do. It's curiosity that is going to be the catalyst for all of learning. And I think about that even when I lecture, when I give talks to people, when I'm doing this, I'm not simply bestowing information on people. Like, I'm exploring this thing that I love with my audience. I'm always engaging with the transcendent, with you guys. And that is the difference. Like, I am putting these out there and I'm asking and I'm saying, well, this is what I've learned so far. These are the questions that matter to me. But at the end of the day, I'm still engaging with the same reality you are. I'm just doing it a little bit different. And I think there's so much that we could all learn from the way that we all approach the different problems and things that happen to pop up in our life. And so I think it's super important that you always be learning, always be an amateur, never close yourself off to growth. And maybe today, just think back and think about the different possibilities and situations in your life where you have closed yourself off to growth. And if that's something that you could change, I think that you have the possibility to see that your life could actually be something much different than what it is now. And that much different could be much better. I love you guys.
I want to love you, but if it's not right, what can I do? Everything gon' be alright. So baby, get some sleep tonight.
I wish we could just pretend to be like we always were before, as happy as the Kennedys. No one told Jackie about Marilyn's tendencies. Ignorance is bliss when you're married half a century. Life is too short, trying to hold it all together. It's gone before you know it, but tonight could last forever. I wrote it out on paper, but forgot to mail the letter. And you could walk away, but you won't find nothing better. It's whatever, I just hope that you remember. Then I said some shit that upset her. Arguing in public, talking loud as Big Sweater. She said, you're always gone. I said, the fuck do you expect from me? Then she looked at me and she said to me,
I want to love you, but if it's not right, what can I do? Everything gon' be alright. So baby, get some sleep tonight.
Maybe in some other lifetime or somewhere down the road we might meet up at the right time. Girls come with the profession when you write rhyme. Caught me and she told me I'm a pig, like I fight crime. Well, maybe G is just an asshole, fucking around with bitches, alfalfa little rascal. Swear my intentions aren't as evil as you think, but temptation's always pushing people to the brink. Fuck, I always lose my judgment when I drink. My only wish is you would settle down and hear me out. I know I haven't been completely honest and devout. It's difficult for me, these girls try to seek me out. I try to talk it out, but this was all she speak about. She said,
I want to love you, but if it's not right, what can I do? Everything gon' be alright. So baby, get some sleep tonight.
Swift tonight turns out to be the last night before you pieced and walked out on me. Let's let it all hang out like a balcony. One last time, the best is what you're about to see. So make it worth it tonight, only so you know I never hurt you in spite. Love me like you never will again, it's our last time. Tonight forget about the past time.
Everything gon' be alright. So baby, get some sleep tonight.